So I recently bought this sandblasting cabinet. It wasn't purchased for a conversion like the other ones I've done in the past. This one here I actually bought for use as a dry cabinet, mainly because I quite often do ferrous metals, and it doesn't actually have the requirement that a lot of the alloy parts do for finish. A lot of it's just to get strip off paint so it can be repainted. And with the vapor blasters, they tend to have a pretty bad flash rusting problem. So I got this. It was actually not just for dry blasting. I wanted to do another test that'll come out in a video later. It's another product I've been working on. But as anyone who's ever bought one of them for use as a sandblaster will know, they don't actually work that well. And there are all sorts of videos on converting them. I had a look at a few of them last night. I kind of had a feeling I was going to have to do something like this anyway if I was going to continue to use it as a dry cabinet. So you can see I've changed the lighting system on it, so that's a whole lot better in there. But the main part was the siphon tubes that they use. I've got one lying around still. There we go. Yeah, pretty terrible. It's just a couple of stainless steel tubes, one inserted inside the other. And the idea is that the air gets sucked down there, and it allows flow so that the sand can be sucked up the inside tube. So a lot of people get rid of them. They don't work that well. And I'm no different. I want to do the same thing, but I did go a slightly different route. Now most people, they have like they put a T-piece on the bottom, so all the sand falls through the hopper and into the T-piece, and then the T-piece does the same job as the outer pipe on those siphons, and allows some air in. But I wanted to go a step further, so I've got just a little AC air control solenoid there. Got it diverted off with it's an old tap that I had, and then that runs down to one side of a T-piece, and it has like an air needle that runs through, very similar to what I do inside the homemade vapor blaster nozzles, and it finishes just before the inside of this. So the sand comes down the hopper through the bottom in this hole that was drilled out into this T-piece, settles around here, and then the air flying through just runs it up and then into the gun. Now the gun you would have seen on an older video is actually out of one of the, I think it's an SBC 900. I said in the last video 780 or 750 or something, but yeah, it's out of a bigger one, and it's got a 7mm nozzle in it, and I put that on there just because the normal guns just don't do it for me. I need something bigger, and it seems to work pretty well. So I think there's air in the compressor there. We're all set up. It's very hard to see in this one. I don't have a fan extractor set up just yet, but if I just quickly, you may be able to see it. You can see it pours out quite a bit of sand after it's done, and that just goes to show how much sand that little pressure fed siphon feeds up there. It seems to work at much lower pressure, and it gives quite a nice finish. So now I've got to work on putting an extractor in. Whether I go off that or off the back, I don't know yet. I've seen a couple of videos where they suggest taking it off the back, and it works better, but I guess I'll play around with that. I've actually got this. It's been sitting outside. I was going to turn it into a fish smoker. It's a extraction unit off a larger sandblaster. It's got all the internals pulled out. There's no fan, so I'll find something else around that I can put on there and make work. But that's what I've been up to today, getting that set up to run the pressure feed, and yeah, it seems to work quite well once that extractor's on there, and I've got that all sorted. I can put it into practice and start using it a bit more. But yeah, so far it seems to be working pretty well. I'm quite happy with it. So with no extractor, I'm not too sure how well this video will go. It'll probably cloud up a little bit much, I've got the old spanner here, just for a demonstration to see how it works with this this setup here, the bigger gun and the pressure feed. There we go. I quite like using the sandblasters on ferrous metals. I really like them when they come up that brilliant grey. And it's if you're going to spray them or powder coat them or zinc plate them, it just gives them a very nice even finish. And that's pretty quick with that pressure feed, and doesn't take that much pressure either. So I'm actually quite happy with that setup. Other thing I have to put on is an air dryer. You can see it's all dripping out. It's quite humid here in New Zealand, so we have quite a big problem with it. But I'll sort something out with that alongside the extractor. As you probably saw in the video, it fogs up really quickly, so I'll need to do something about that. But overall, pretty happy. Focus. And I think it was well worth using that pressure feed to run through. I do like the idea of the I can't remember what they call them. They just modify them and just run like a T-piece with an extra valve on it to let additional air in. It's a good simple idea, but seeing as I had the parts, I wanted to do it this way. But happy with the result. Just a little bit of bonus material. That spanner, once it's straight after the last clip of it coming out of the vapor blaster, you see it would have been quite dull. But this is just a few minutes in the zinc plating bath, and then a vapor blast, and you can see it's aluminium, that one there. And you see how close the finish is. So a few minutes in the zinc plater and a vapor blast, comes up looking like new. Very cool in my opinion.